Hi, Frances here. I'm going to talk to you today a little bit more about the Gervasio Allemande, as I promised. Last time we were looking at the main theme and how to start working on the piece in sections. Now I've had a little look through it, and it seems that the main theme comes up 14 times. So the main theme, you remember at the beginning, is like this. And last time we looked at this little theme that goes like this. So I just played the main theme again after the new little theme that was introduced, and it was just one little new theme, just of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. But after that, I've noticed that each time we have a new theme, and generally they seem to be 8 bars. I think they're all 8 bars. There seems to be 2 themes at a time. So the next time we get 2 little themes, they sound like this. So here we go. Now, then it goes straight on to so you have 2 ideas to think about. It's a little bit more to process. I've noticed that there are in fact 14 main themes and 24 other themes throughout the whole piece. So the 23 themes, there's one that's just 8 bars by itself, and then the other 11 times there are 2 themes each time in between the main theme. So what I've done to study this is that I've actually written out a little number in a little circle when the new theme comes along. So now I'm looking at theme 2 and theme 3. And here you will notice a little dashes, vertical dashes that Gervasio wrote, which was the sign that he used for an upstroke. So here we've got a little pattern that goes up, down, up, down. Now the really observant ones of you might notice that I continued with the up down, but I played 2 open, 2 open in the 3rd bar of this theme. So I was playing open 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, and then 2 open, 2 open. Now really this kind of technique, the way that it's set up is really called barriolage, when you have 2 strings alternating. So you have this sound. And really, it would probably be better if you could go 2, 4. Sorry, 2, 4, 2, 4, like that. So again. When I get to the little arpeggio, I change back to a downstroke. So it is possible to play 2, 4, but I know some people have problems with the 4th finger. Some of you are really amazing adult learners, and I know that you sometimes need to do something different. I do think, although there is a slight difference, it isn't too much when you're playing it at quite a speed, because we are going to play the whole thing at quite a brisk speed and have the feel of 1 beat in a bar. So here really is how I would probably play it with an open string, even though it would be possible to play 2, 4. So it's going to sound like this. And a nice down bow for the octave at the end. And then we're going into the minor. So here I'm just playing over the sound hole. I like to call this sul bocca, over the mouth of the mandolin. Normally when we have a minor part, to make it more atmospheric, we play over the over the fingerboard, sul tastiera, which is like this. But in a very quick piece, I find it's easy just to go over the whole. It just gives a little bit of atmosphere. Then softer, hold the plectrum softer to get slightly a sense of an echo, just a little bit of variation. There are lots of different things you could do. You could just stay where you are and you could just play it like this. And then just hold the plectrum lighter. So experiment with that and see what you would like. It might be possible just to start playing lightly straight away. And then play near the bridge. Which was called argento, silvery. But we sometimes know it as playing sul ponticello, on the bridge. So playing very near the bridge gives that very beautiful silvery sound, which is also very suitable for a variation of the colour when you're playing a minor section. So that's another idea that you could use there. So there's lots of things you can do. It's your interpretation. You can make up your mind. I'm just giving you a few pointers. So that's the second little theme, those two little themes together, 2 and 3. And then the next one that comes up is going to be like this, 4. It goes like this. By the way, something I noticed with this, I'm working from the copy of the original that I put and posted on my Facebook page. But actually, it's quite difficult to read in places because the lines of the stave sometimes disappear. So I've just penciled those in. You might have to do that too. I think another way to study this would be to write it out. If you haven't got a computer program that will do this, you can write it out by hand, because this is what Baroque composers did to actually learn music. And I found that when I've been making my own editions of things, I've actually learnt the music much better by having to write it out, even if it's through the technology, through using the computer, because it somehow just fixes the idea in the brain. So that's another very useful tip. Now, about this little section, some of you I know will find that the pattern is a little awkward to play quickly and fluently. And so I've looked at them all. They're actually arpeggios or similar kinds of chords and just played backwards. So if you studied them by playing the last note in the bar first, and then the note before that, and then the note before that, and then the note before that. So if we look at this first bar, if we played the last note in the bar, it would be a D, and then the next note would be an F sharp, then it would be an A, and then the very last note in the bar would be the first note of the bar, the D. Do you see what I mean? I'm just playing all the notes of the bar completely back to front. And then I have a rising arpeggio of D major, which is one of the first things that you learn and is quite straightforward. And in fact, in the next bar, you will notice that it's actually the same chord, the same notes. It's A, D, F, A, but starting on the A. So we would call that a second inversion. If it started on the F sharp, if it was, it would be a first inversion, but this is a second inversion. And then the next bar is like an A major arpeggio, but instead of going to the A, it goes to a seventh above the A, so it's a dominant seventh, because the A in the piece is in the key of D, and the A is the fifth note, so it's the dominant note. So as we're doing an arpeggio starting on the A, the fifth note, it's the dominant chord, but it's the seventh added in, so we call it a dominant seventh, and then we're going to go back to a D. and so on. So if you study that little section, playing everything backwards, each bar backwards, you will get something like this. And so on. And then you will find that when you come to play it the way that it's written, it will feel a little bit more comfortable, and you'll soon be playing it like this. You see? So, now, the next little thing, that's all very straightforward, isn't it? Number 5, theme, 4th finger there, open string. That's all very straightforward. Let's go to the 6th theme. This again, we have the upstroke, and then down there, and then up, down, up, down. Okay, so quite useful if you're new to this, reversing the strokes, so that the way we do it with barriolage, we always play the higher sounding string, which is lower and closer to the floor, but it's the higher sounding string with the upstroke, and the lower string, that is the lower sounding string, which physically is higher and nearer to the ceiling, we play that with a downstroke. So you can practice that on just 2 open strings until you get the idea. It's very important again to hold the plectrum quite loosely to be able to facilitate the speed. Now, this is the most important thing. I think the most difficult thing here is, could we play the 7th theme straight away? I know I was always getting the rhythm wrong. So the 7th theme is like this. Now, I began to do exactly what I didn't want to do there, which is to hang on to the last note in each little group, in each little quick group, and it spoils the rest. So what we need to do is perhaps a little exercise like this. So first of all, if we look at the first bar, to get that speed and to understand that rhythm, what I did was I played the F sharp and the A as quavers, so I missed out the second note of the bar, which is a little G semi-quaver, and then I just repeated the A quaver. So I played F sharp, A, 4 quavers like this. Do you see? And then I played in the next bar, I did the same pattern, so I played the G and the B, so I played 1 G and 3 Bs, all quavers, and then carried on the same idea, E, G, so all together it sounds like this. This is just to get the speed of the quavers, because if you can get the speed of the quavers, you can take out the quavers that aren't there for the rest, and then you can last of all put in the very quick notes. So this is the procedure. You practice. Now what you do is you do this, you go. It's really nice because it allows you to be really careful about taking the finger off very, very gently and making sure that you observe the rest. It's essential. So then we put in the very quick note, and you'll manage that quite nicely, and it'll sound like this. Done. You see? Job done. So that's all good. Carrying on, the next time we come to something, we have at 8, we have this. Quite straightforward, it's just 1 and open, open, open. Make sure you play those double stops so they sound together. A few extraneous notes coming out there. But notice it's very nice. The same pattern happens, but on the top 2 strings it's exactly the same. Next time at the bottom of the page, if you're using the original copy like me, you will find you play in the 3rd position. So you just, when you've just had 3 open, you've had an open string, you quickly jump up. You don't have to worry about the theory of changing positions. I'll cover that in another video. And now you're up here. I missed something out there, didn't I? And then you come down, and this is straightforward. And that should be an octave there. So we're just thinking about this. I'm thinking and talking at the same time. It's a little bit difficult to do sometimes. So now we have at 12, we have a similar thing to the idea that we had earlier, where we have a lot of back to front arpeggios. Sometimes it goes by step, but then you have the back to front arpeggio. So again, you can practice it like before. You can practice the little sequence of notes back to front. So that little section is then we come to the minor again, so we can try again your lovely idea over the sound hole. Notice I like to just spread the chords a little bit. The next one, we have another little spread here. But we can't spread so much because it's a quaver, so you have to be a little light and just get that brightness going. And so on. The 15th theme, straightforward. Here my lines are running out. I'll have to draw them in again, so you have to watch that. And so on. 16, where we're just racing through them now. This is straightforward. That one straightforward. 17 again. Again straightforward. For 18, watch 18, because the 18th one has a sense of a drone about it. It's not actually a drone. It's not like a fifth going on continuously, but here, because it's lower voiced, what's slightly difficult for some of you is you need to study thirds, and so the first interval is a sixth, where you have the second on the F sharp and the third finger on the D, and you play them together. Notice I always play the bottom note, then the top note, and then together. And then the next double stop because it's 2 notes that are stopped. You've got the F sharp and the A, and then you play them together. Quite easy because you've got an open A string. But now you have to play third finger G and first finger B and play them together. Notice I've tried to get a better picture for you this week so that you can see my left hand as well. So 3 and 1 and then together. Now you have to practice quite a bit 2 and open if you're not used to playing double stops, and the 3 and the 1 together, because what we're trying to wire up in the mind is the fact that you're playing 2 and open, so you don't have to, it's effortless because you just play a 2 and you have to strike both strings at once, but you don't have to do anything for the open string. But for the 3 and the 1 you do have to do something, so you have to put the 3 and the 1 down at the same time. Now I'm noticing actually that this little video has been going on for a long time, so I'm going to cut to the chase now. So practice very carefully the 2 and the open, the 3 and the 1, the 2 and the open, and then you'll be able to manage 18. and then 19, it'll be down, 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 up, that little pattern. Like that. So you might have to practice that on an open string. I put the first finger between the bottom 2 strings, right in the middle. I'll talk more about that on another occasion. Ideally it's 4-2 open, so it's like a little chord. You just place the hand together like that. So I would actually practice the chords like this, the shape. Just get that one after the other, then practice the open strings down, 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 up, G, D, A, and then put it all together. Four and open together. Right, so this all should go really quite nicely. We should carry it all on. 21 is beautiful. No little echo required there because the tune changes in the second half. Everything else is straightforward. The next little theme is just down, up, and so on. Same thing on the next 2 strings. And the last repetition of our main theme, number 14, is sometimes I do a little cheeky tremolo on the penultimate note, but I was just showing you that really it's a good idea to slow up the last but one bar, the penultimate bar, so that you get that sense of finish. So that's it really. Those are the ideas for having a little look at this in a little bit more depth, and I thought perhaps I'll make another video of me playing it all the way through, and I'll post that next time, and then you can play along with me. Okay, have fun, see you soon, bye.